I want to take you back for a moment to September 2007, specifically to a phone call I had with a good friend of mine from childhood. Let's call him Dave. Dave was a cowboy, as hardworking and honest as they come. He raised cattle, did chores, and never missed a Sunday service. If you can imagine John Dutton and Mr. Rogers rolled into one, then you can picture Dave tending to the land, loving his neighbor, and not murdering the competition. So what was this phone call about? For those who study climate change, September 2007 is known as the month that Arctic sea ice extent appeared to drop off a cliff. There was a reasonable concern that summer sea ice cover could retreat faster than expected due to feedbacks that were yet unidentified. It may have been a small chance, and it may have been exaggerated by the media, but the goal of science is to disprove hypotheses, especially ones with dire implications, and this one warranted investigation. Now, Dave and I just happened to be chatting that day about the struggle for water resources, which is a serious concern for any farmer or rancher. Droughts and overpumping can mean financial ruin, so I mentioned the news I thought was highly relevant. Arctic sea ice just set a new record low, and by a long shot. What was Dave's response? I know why Al Gore thinks it's melting, so that doesn't really concern me. Really? Think about what just happened. And keep in mind, it was not for lack of wit or intelligence that Dave formed his opinion. He understood perfectly well how weather and water work, and that planetary heating drives the system. But in that moment, rather than grapple with the newest observations, even critically grapple with them, he chose to dismiss their relevance on the basis of his severe dislike for Albert Gore Jr., a dislike built on a daily regimen of Rush Limbaugh. In other words, Al Gore is alarmed by these data and believes they warrant political action. Therefore, I cannot be alarmed and do not believe. This, by definition, is the politicization of science. Over the last few decades, I've regularly encountered otherwise intelligent people who were so buried in propaganda that they became persuaded by terrible arguments. Arguments that would struggle to survive middle school earth science. As years go by and Earth gets warmer, these arguments have only grown dumber. Yet on Twitter, they thrive. So let's have fun and explore the world of climate twits together, lest we also get duped.